if you're here for the block grant hearing, this legislative public hearing on block grants is hereby called to order. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Senator Kay Kirkpatrick. I represent the people of District 32. Here with us today is Representative Katie Dempsey and Christine Murdoch, representing the House Budget and Research Office, Caitlin Little, representing the Senate Budget and Evaluation Office, Rashad Jackson, Budget Director for the Department of Human Services, and Chris Hamilton, Chief Financial Officer for the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities. There is a sign-up sheet out in the hallway if anyone wishes to comment. Before we get started, is there anyone who requires sign language interpreter services? If so, please identify yourself so that our interpreter can position themselves properly. Seeing none, thank you for attending today's block grant hearing. The purpose of the hearing is to receive public comments on the use of 5 human services block grants that Georgia receives from the federal government. The hearing also provides the members of the Georgia legislature the opportunity to listen to the views of private citizens and other interested parties on how the block grant funds should be used for state fiscal year 2026, which will begin July 1, 2025. These block grants are Community Mental Health Services Block Grant, Community Services Block Grant, Low Income Home Energy Assistance Block Grant, Social Services Block Grant, Substance Abuse Prevention and Treatment Block Grant. Public input is an important aspect of the deliberative process that the Georgia legislature undertakes in making decisions about the state's budget. Thank you for taking the time to participate in the process. Chairman Dempsey, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I'll just say thank you to everyone who got out today. I know some of you are ready to get out of your homes, but it's good to see everyone here.
At this time, Rashad Jackson will provide a brief summary of the grants and explain how we will proceed. Please welcome Rashad. Where's his?
Thank you, Senator Kirkpatrick. As Senator Kirkpatrick stated, the Department of Human Services will receive public comments on the federal block grants today. By federal law, Georgia is required to hold public hearings on these grants. These 3 grants are the Community Services Block Grants, Low Income Home Energy Assistance Block Grant, and the Social Services Block Grant. At this time, I will give a brief overview of these 3 grants. The Community Services Block Grant provides funding for services and activities that impact causes of poverty to assist low-income participants. These funds are distributed to local agencies throughout the state and fund a wide range of services, including employment, education, meals, and nutrition services and housing. The Low Income Energy Assistance Block Grant provides cash assistance to qualified low-income households for energy assistance costs, weatherization costs, such as insulation, caulking, and weather stripping, and reduce energy consumption for energy crisis intervention. Finally, the Social Services Block Grant funds various services such as daycare services for children and adults and persons with mental retardation, home-delivered meals, homemaker services, transportation, and protective services for adults and children. These grants also assist families to achieve and or maintain economic self-support and self-sufficiency. At this time, Chris Hamilton, the Chief Financial Officer of the Department of Behavioral Health Developmental Disabilities, will provide a list and brief summary of the agency's grants.
Thank you, Rashad. The Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities will receive public comments on 2 federal block grants today. These 2 grants are the Community Mental Health Services Block Grant and the Substance Use Prevention, Treatment, and Recovery Services Block Grant. Here is a brief overview of each of these grants. The Community Mental Health Services Block Grant implements the provisions of the Mental Health State Plan by providing services to individuals with a serious mental illness and to children with a serious emotional disturbance. The Substance Use Prevention, Treatment, and Recovery Services Block Grant provides funds for community-based alcohol and drug treatment, prevention, and early intervention programs. Thank you. Now I will turn things back over to Rashad to continue the proceedings.
Thank you, Chris. More details of each of these grants, including the type of programs that can be funded and their proposed funding levels, are included in the color-coded pamphlets that are available on the table outside. There are separate pamphlets for each grant. Before receiving the comments, let me go over a few ground rules. We will take speakers in the order in which they signed up. If you have not signed up yet, you may do so at the table outside. If there is more than one representative here from the same organization, please choose one from your organization to speak. By doing this, we will ensure that each organization and citizen gets a fair chance to be heard. You will be given 5 minutes in which to present your comments. There's a timekeeper who will let you know when you have 1 minute left. I will initially call 2 speakers to the podium at a time. As the first person is speaking, the next speaker should be making his or her way up to the podium. Then, as your name is called, please make your way to the podium. If you have written comments for the record or a copy of your speech, please place these on the table at the end of the meeting. Now let's begin. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak? If so, please approach the podium and give your name and the name of the organization in which you represent. Well, if there are no speakers, I would like to thank you all for attending today's hearing. I would like to thank the panel individually, Senator Kirkpatrick, Caitlin Little, House Chairman Dempsey, and Amber Mack. I return the meeting over to Senator Kirkpatrick.
Thank you. I didn't see anyone on the sign-up sheet. So with that, thanks very much for your participation, and the meeting is adjourned.